What's up, guys?
What's up?
How are y'all doing?
All right.
So, I met you guys. It's been probably a little over a year. But y'all have been in business for how long now?
About
4 years.
Huh?
Okay.
First of 2020.
So, what did you, first off, how did y'all get into this? Because, like, I know it's like husband and wife couple.
Yeah.
Very, very niche market and things you do. Like, how did this happen?
I mean, we could take it back to.
Let's go.
We could take it all the way back to 16, whenever we met. If we're gonna go back that far.
I don't that or just.
All right, so we met in 16 over here in Bossier, actually, at the Frank Foster concert. I was living at my brother's in his carport with I was driving a little Zuzu Pup truck. That's crazy. To where we are now, but didn't have nothing, drinking every day. I mean, gambling. Then I met her, and then what was it? 2 months later, she was pregnant. Like 6 months later, we got married, and tried to change my life. And I don't know what I do. I started doing a little construction stuff, working for myself.
Yeah.
Quit doing that. Went to the oil field till 19.
Mm-hmm.
So from 17 to 19, I was working in the oil field again. Got laid off in 19. I said, all right, we got a 1-year-old, or almost 2. I got to do something where I'm home. So I was like, well, I mean, I can clean a car. So we started doing that together. Could pick our own hours, but we were working Monday through Sunday.
Yeah, probably.
Every day.
For the first year, just to get our name out there, and then, I mean, it worked. So after that, we decided to cut out the weekends and spend time with her. But
Well, how did y'all decide to work together? Like, how did that come about? Like, was that something like, hey,
I mean, I knew I was gonna need help, and
I wasn't working at
Okay.
the time, so
So you're just like, okay, well, we're gonna try
we're
this
better
out
together, and people wonder how we get stuff done, how we do it, and quickly. I mean, when you got 2 people doing the same job,
yeah.
and you're both getting the same paycheck, so you're not having to split anything. You're gonna get it done.
Imagine like him doing it himself or me doing it myself. Like it would take a lot longer for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, there's something to be said about a husband-wife couple too, because like my wife and I work together, so I know how it is. But you have to have the same expectations.
Yeah.
And you have to have the same mindset and know that, hey, we're going to get these projects done no matter what. Like.
Yeah, and the same end goal.
Yeah.
I mean, like mine could be different. It was different than hers, but I mean, you got to find a happy medium, I guess.
Yeah. Well, how did you land on the car thing? Like specifically, what you guys focus in, and there's not a lot of education on what it is you guys do out there, aside from the handful of people that do it, regionally. Like the ceramic coating thing, and the custom modifications. Because if you really think about it, like if you're a car guy or a gearhead or whatever, like most people like. It's either like extremely custom or it's just nonchalant. Making some modifications, whereas you guys are niche to like basically just taking care of what you have.
Yeah, just pretty much taking care of it and protecting what they've already built.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you spent so much money on it. It's really an investment to go ahead and have it coated. That way, when you do go to sell it, it looks almost as good as it did when you bought it.
Yeah, so better most of the time because you guys are catching. You guys are catching stuff from the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With
like
flaws.
Yesterday.
Oh, tell me what happened.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a Toyota, brand new with paper tags, and did a full polish job. Had scratches from they put that tape on there, and the detail guys at factories or at the dealerships around here, they're
right.
They don't know what they're doing. I guess they're just doing their
$10 an hour employees.
job.
Yeah.
So I mean, and people they expect their vehicle to be brand new. So
a lot of new vehicles will come, especially like the plastic panels on the windows. They'll always be squirreled just about on any new vehicle for some reason.
Yeah, and you've had some come straight from the factory with paint defects too, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
And how does that even happen? How does that get through quality control? Do you think it's just because of volume thing? Like
production, they
just trying to push it out.
And it's a lot lately, especially during COVID. Like 21 and 22, we had a lot that came through.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Brand new, straight off the lot,
and a lot of the dealers will pay for it.
Oh, so you just say, hey, this is an issue right here, and
a lot of the dealers, if we tell the customer, hey, reach out. I mean, they don't mind spending $700-800.
But you're giving them some type of relevance behind it too, like saying, hey, I have a professional that caught this issue. I would see where the dealer may push back if you're just a consumer and you buy it and you bring it home and you're like, hey, this is messed up.
I mean, most of them are like a lot of the dealers around here already know us, and like they can see us on our pages, and then now that we have a website, they can see, okay, they're the real deal.
Right.
We even get a lot of insurance jobs.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because our coatings go on your insurance and Carfax. So if you have I guess, what is it, comprehensive or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you have to get it repainted or any kind of damage, they'll send it to us. And after it gets repainted, I mean, they pay you to have it redone.
Yeah, we had one recently from the storms a few months back. A tree had fallen on a guy's truck. He had everything coated. It needed body work, paint, all that, and they insurance paid to recoat everything. So
yeah,
he wasn't out of pocket
that's something too that a lot of people don't know. But that's a good selling point too.
Yeah, I mean, we do, but I mean, it sells. So
well, I just think it's interesting. I first did a buddy of mine. We talked about this previously before you did coated one of my vehicles. Did another ceramic coat brand, but I never had ceramic coat, but I'd seen it, and when I got that brand new vehicle, first off, I'd never had a brand new vehicle.
Yeah.
So I got a brand new vehicle, like a Ford F-150 Platinum. I was like, okay, this is badass. The first thing I'm doing is I love black, and I love black, and so I always try to keep my stuff clean, and I refuse to run stuff through automatic wash. So like I like to hand wash them, and here lately I hadn't had time, but it's like the coating thing kind of saves you. Like I was just blown away. I remember when I first got it, and I was like, holy shit! Like everything looks like glass when you bring it home. Like you look at it, and then I remember I would go out there and I would take one bottle of water. Literally one bottle. I was just like, I'm gonna try this. One bottle of water and a microfiber and clean the whole damn thing. If it wasn't muddy, you know.
Yeah.
It blows my mind, like the technology of that behind it. And what I like about you guys is you're like on the up and up. You take it seriously. You're like you're going to these conventions and you're studying the product and you know the chemistry on it and all that.
I mean, we have to. That's we don't have a plan B. So
well, and people want to know too when they're spending that much money on a vehicle. They want to know. They have all these questions. You need to be able to answer them.
Yeah, I mean, even at the shop, if we ain't got nothing going, we're in there watching videos or even other people's detailing videos, just watching.
Like,
I mean, you got to stay on top of everything.
Well, it's just an industry that's grown. I feel like it's grown. I don't know. I feel like in the past 10 years, it's really grown.
Oh,
like
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That like, when did you decide to take the step into like full blown paint restoration and you know and coating and stuff?
We were about a year into our detailing. I mean, we were putting 60,000 miles on our truck within a year doing our mobile stuff. So we're like, oh, we got to do something. So we already had our shop at the house, but we wasn't using it much for work. We're like, we got a shop, we can do these coating jobs. So we started pushing that out, and it just took off. And then whenever we moved to Minden, it's been
Most of
crazy.
our customers are like Minden area up to Shreveport, so it just put us in a better spot for us and them.
It's been wild.
Well, yeah, you got a storefront now. That's exciting. I mean, but that's why I want to have you guys on there. I love putting people on that I vibe with, I like, and then also that like have similar values. Like you guys started from literally getting laid off, needed to make some money, worked together, grinded, and did it in the house, and then grew to a storefront. Like a lot of people never make it that far. They get they get in the first 3 or 4 months, and they're like, okay, I'm throwing my hands up. I'm gonna go back and work with the man. You know.
Yep. You gotta have trust in God. I don't know if y'all talk about that.
Oh yeah, dude, man. Let's talk about anything, bro.
That's where my main thing came in what was it, 2021. We hit a big turning point and had an accident with our daughter, and I said, we got to do something to where we don't need nothing from anybody anymore, because we had a lot of people gave us stuff while we were off work for I think 2 months, but
2 or 3.
so we got to do something where we can. I don't ever want to be in that position again.
Yeah.
So we took it serious, and we just never look back, and it just keeps going. So been blessed.
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. There's something to the grand scheme of doing the right thing and just putting everything out there and on the line.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, and doing people right. I mean, a lot of these businesses they don't educate the people. We could make a lot more money if we were doing people wrong.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean,
good or bad, it always comes back around to you.
Yes, it's always coming around.
You want to do the right thing to begin with.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. I've noticed that doing business and stuff, and even having these conversations with people is like the more people you have, the more genuine people you have a conversation with. Like it's they're just being real, like honest.
I mean, I'm too blunt with people.
That's a good thing, though. And
it is.
There's another friend of mine. He's been on the show. It's been a while ago. His name's Aaron Smith. He specializes in e-commerce. He was like one of the first guys to ever sell cars online in the state of Texas.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's been in the industry a long time.
Yeah.
And y'all remind me of each other is where he'll put information out there, and it's like industry. he'll put out, and he's more specific on like resale vehicles and stuff like that. But I always find it extremely interesting. He'll put out the information nobody wants to talk about, especially the dealer stuff. And he'll be like, you see this right here, these vehicles actually statistically blah, 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 blah. Even though he may have 3 or 4 of them on hand to get rid of, he's telling you that here's the problems with them, you know, like, and I like that about you guys, that like you're always letting people know things and you know, giving them some type of education,
or just aftercare.
Right.
Like I think I told you, I mean, you got to dry your vehicle off. You got to do this. You got to do this. I mean, it's not just a bubble that you put on your vehicle. It's going to help, but it's not a bubble that's going to protect it. But
well, do you do you both jointly share a passion with like vehicles, like in building them and driving them and like taking care of, like what's the story behind all that?
I mean, I've been kind of a nerd for vehicles all my life.
Okay. What about you? Did you adopt that when you met him, or?
Kind of. My dad actually had a 78 Malibu growing up. He had it when he was in high school. He sold it and bought it back. And I wanted to redo it with him then. We just never got to. So now it's actually sitting in the carport at the house, and we'll start on it pretty soon.
What are y'all going to do to it?
I want to put a LT in it. And give it to our daughter, hopefully.
Yeah.
We've got a while on it, but.
Yeah. That's something that's awesome, man. There's something about doing those projects together, like with each other, or just seeing one come to fruition, like whether, especially if it's sentimental, you know. I have a vehicle that I've been working on for like 5 years, and it was my grandfather's, and we used to grow up, me, my brother, and my grandfather, we'd go out hunting in it. And it's not, it's a T100, but like it's not like a hot rod, it's not no flashy truck.
But I mean,
but for me it's sentimental.
It's a black one. Oh, that's slick.
And for me it's sentimental, but it's not no type of like hot, you know, $100,000 like restore.
You feel good riding in it.
Yeah, man, it takes you back. Like, isn't that funny how that works with vehicles? Like certain memories associated those, and you really don't ever think about those memories until you touch that steering wheel. You know,
my dad's got. We did a 64.5 Mustang whenever I was in high school, and I think he sold it in 2014. And I finally tracked the guy down, and I'm trying to get it back. Now.
So that's funny because there's those half years in those few vehicles. Like,
well, it was the first year of it, so I don't know why they called it a half. But
there's another vehicle that they do that too. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, that's like a highly sought after.
Yeah. And it's Ragoon red, 3-speed. I've already talked to the guy. He actually brought his wife's car to get it cleaned before, but so we stayed in contact now. So
yeah, it looks good and sounds good for sure.
I couldn't do what y'all do because I'd be trying to buy everything. Dude. Like that's my problem. Is like I don't have any room to put anything else right now because we have multiple project vehicles, and like I'll get them like. Damn, with like the Jeep, I should be picking that up finally this weekend, and we've got it completely done, other than I'm going to put a different lift on it. But like that's going to be like her thing, and that's her baby, and like she can have it and do whatever she wants to with it. But like, man, now I wanted something else. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm never content. Like, I mean, I was out there this morning working on my truck. That's what we drove over here today. But I stayed. I got to have something going. I mean, I can't have an idle time. I got to be doing something.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
You think it's like
I didn't
previous bad habits, like
probably, because I mean, used to I would just go get me a 12-pack and go to the casino, or so. Now, I mean, I just had to be doing something. I don't know. She says I got ADD,
but he is better about it. You will. You
just got to learn to control it. I mean, I don't take no medicine for it or nothing. But
what if you're putting it into something that's productive? You know what I mean? Because I used to be the same way. I'd spend so much time going out and drinking and doing dumb stuff, and I would look at the bank account and the time I had in that, and I could have been doing something else.
Oh man, if I had that money back then.
Don't we all say that, dude? Yeah. I mean, I wish I had too, but yeah, no, I think it's something that it is something cool that you can take that, like whatever those are, previous addictions or bad habits, and turn them into good habits.
Yeah,
you know?
And I mean, now we got a decent 83 C10, and we're going to be putting it in the World of Wheels.
Oh, so you're going to run in there?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to have a booth there and have all of our stuff.
So you'll just demo stuff there?
Yeah, and then we got the Rods and Ribeyes in Magnolia. They got a big car show up there for the Blossom Festival.
When is that? Somebody told me about
third weekend in May.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody told me about wanting to come up there, and I was like, dude, I'm completely booked like for the next 5 months as far as like doing any kind of like big festivals. But I'd like to ride up there. I definitely want to come to World of Wheels and knowing that y'all are there.
Yeah, we'll be there. It's a 3-day thing, and that's another thing. We got to take off work for it. So
that's our first show. Like we went to SEMA, but we didn't have anything set up.
How was SEMA?
So
SEMA was good. I mean, I had to buy some Cloud. What are them things?
On Cloud
shoes. Because the first day I wore some dudes and
You wore
They
them
were
out.
flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like every day we walked at least 7 miles. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's
wow.
massive, and it was full capacity, I believe, this year.
Yeah,
so
it looked, I mean, it.
What did you like for your industry? I guess did you like? Is there anything that you're going to implement that you like that's coming out? Like, because I mean, like, what's the technology like? It looks. I feel like they keep releasing stuff. I'm like, how much better can this get?
I
Like,
don't know. They
yeah, G Plus is our newest coating, and it's a hypergloss, so it's 30% glossier
Yeah,
than
it's
the
way
other
better.
coatings. Yeah, and it
been
looks
a big
awesome.
seller.
But that's our new thing for right now.
and then hopefully window tint. Like,
Window tint, yeah, that's another big
we've been
thing.
talking about that for.
Man,
I don't
you
know.
know, just got to do it. Just
I
gotta do
know.
it.
I mean, we can already
It's
do
a
like
big step, though.
buildings,
Yeah,
But
Because I mean, I don't want to just start doing it with some Amazon stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. But I mean, we want to do it right and take a class. I know the basics. She's touched it a little bit, but I want to have a professional come and teach us, and with the plotter, and have everything set up before we even start
Yeah.
offering it. We do window like flat windows, but
right. But doing all the curvatures,
doing
and all
automotive
the,
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a broader range of people that are.
especially like cars, the back glass
Yeah.
of cars are difficult. So
I just want to be set up right.
Oh yeah,
before
for
I start
sure, man. Well, I mean, you're scaling it. You're scaling it the right way. You guys are getting, I
Yeah.
guess, honing in, getting everything perfected, then adding the next
Yeah.
layer in.
Yeah, and the rods and ribeyes is they have a lot of old like the patina cars because
Yeah.
we do those too.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Y'all do that patina products.
Yeah, the poppies, and there's others out there, but they'll be there at that show, and we'll have I don't know probably 4 or 5 cars we worked on there. Try to get our name out. We ain't never done those shows before. I ain't never been on a podcast. We just kind of been winging it.
No,
really,
it's okay, man. Like, that's what I tell people. I really don't. We don't do this. Like, I don't really do this to promote business. It's more just
Yeah.
talking about stuff. But I, if I'm passionate about something or I think something's interesting, I'm going to bring it
Yeah.
on. Like, I like the product you guys do. I like what you do, and I like the service. And really, just if there's any time where somebody needs to be shared, I want to share them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We been blessed. All I can say.
Yeah. Well, you seem to be the technical one because every time I'm talking to him about something, you'll like throw some facts out there
yeah.
about
Everybody always says that I give more information.
That's good though.
Yeah, and
Well, she
sometimes
does.
she's like,
She's
that's
the-
too much, and I'm like, no, they want to know.
What, did
So,
you just adopt that and you said, okay, I'm going to start diving into these things more in
Yeah,
depth?
I mean, and I like to know too, so I just tell people, you know, and if they have questions, and most of them I can answer even. If
Yeah, I don't
they
even answer the
can't,
phone.
so.
She has our work phone, and I don't like talking to people really because they ask too many questions. And which female are they're salesmen too. So
Yeah.
I mean, behind every business, there's going to be a female somewhere in there. I mean, that's most of them.
Yeah.
Some people would prefer to speak to a female, you know, when they're calling. So I think it
Right.
works out better. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, so what are y'all doing like constantly to, I guess, advance this the product really, I guess, or the delivery? Because, well, let me ask you this. So what have you seen? Okay, so for the longest time, it's been like matte black, matte colors, flat colors, and you have flat colors with gloss on them.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, what are you seeing on these new vehicles coming out? Like, I like the retro paints that are coming out. Like, I think that's
Yeah.
cool. Like, some of it looks too forced, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the two-tone stuff. But,
I mean, a lot of it now is just everything's color matched.
Yeah.
Everything.
yeah.
Which I mean, we had a color match 21 truck, but we sent it back.
Oh, really?
Well, I traded it for my Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that red one?
Yeah, those 5.3s weren't. They wasn't very good.
Yeah. Well, I've been seeing these vintage, like the vintage, like the Bronco, like the remake with the mag wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I feel about that. I never really liked those anyways.
I've been looking at some mags for mine.
You like 'em?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they make them now to where they don't fucking oxidize.
Yeah.
But you know, back in the day, you'd have them on for a month and they're
Yeah.
screwed. Like, you're not getting those things clean. If you
Yeah.
do, you clean them, you spend a whole day on it,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they're oxidized again in a
That's why
month.
we don't even polish wheels anymore.
No, why? Like, but I guess are the new mags, are they gonna not do that? I mean, are they making
No,
them
as long as they're aluminum, they're gonna.
yeah. Like, so what's the point? I don't know. I can't do it, dude.
The reason people do it is because they're lightweight.
Right.
They're lightweight, and you can always fix them. I mean, you can put heat on them and bend them back in place. Whereas
Yeah.
alloy, you're gonna crack it, or you're gonna have to weld it back up. So
And y'all never got into like wheel repair? You hadn't
Nah.
looked at, there's a big market for that.
yeah, there is. There's a
I
guy
don't
over
think
here
there's
that
really
does
a
it.
lot of people that around our area that does it.
No, there's like one guy over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they run like a couple trucks, and they
Yeah.
do dealer stuff and all
Yeah.
that. Because I was going to call him for a set I got, because I'll find a set of stuff and I'll scoop up something on Marketplace
Yeah.
before I go spend $5
Yeah.
grand on the whole damn setup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's what I ran on my last rig. With this one, I just went ahead and got all new. That was like the first
Yeah.
time I'd ever done that too. But yeah, I mean, I guess I get it, but I was looking at a new Bronco the other day. I saw driving down the road. It was like the baby blue with the white top, like the 80s, and then it had those ugly ass wheels. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So you're gonna run mags on this C10?
Maybe. I don't know. We're gonna see what we do with that Malibu first.
What year model is that?
83.
Okay. Well, that would fit in there.
Yeah, I mean it would, and it's lowered. But I want to see what we do with that Malibu first, because I want to do it the same color and same wheels. So.
So you're gonna do it red too?
I think so. Yeah. At first I thought black, but then after seeing the truck, I'm like, well, it'd be okay
Victory
if
red.
they match. It looks good. So.
Yeah.
Having 2 matched ones, and then I don't know, having maybe 2 kids later.
Yeah.
That's okay. Maybe they'll like them and just take those. But if not, that's okay too.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I mean, we got a 6-year-old now, and I told her whenever I got to 30, I'm done, because I mean, I don't want to be an old man with a kid and
the gray-headed dude at the ball field or whatever. Yeah.
But you're 31, and something that I thought was funny is I said, once we get in the shop and get settled in, I'll probably be ready for another one. Well, sure enough, that's what happened. So.
Yeah. So we found out Friday.
Was it the 4th? I think your brother's birthday.
That's the 3rd.
The 3rd. Okay. Yeah.
Found out on the 3rd. She took a test. Well, took 2, and then she went to the doctor. Monday, and they confirmed it. So,
well, congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, it's exciting too, because like you just add it to what you have going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you have it's like you have this new business. I mean, it's not new, but it's
still
you're in the
new
next
every day.
step. Well, you're the next step of that business, and then adding that in just gives you more motivation to.
Oh yeah, I mean we got to
get it right. You know?
Right.
And we did hire a girl finally.
Oh really?
Yeah, she works on just Mondays right now, but she wants to come full time. But that's another step of faith you got to put out there to be able to pay somebody, because she's got to take care of herself too. So
yeah, that's another thing with whenever you start scaling up, man. You have to remember that, like, first off, those people got to get paid for you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And those people are relying on you to take care of their family. You know, so it's a whole nother thing.
And it's a lot of work, so you want to pay them accordingly. You don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'd want to get paid if I was starting out at a professional detail shop. So I mean, having somebody start out, I mean, I don't want to just pay them minimum wage, so I mean, we got to pay them decent, and then hiring them full time. That's going to be, it's kind of like taking another step of adding another service, really, because you got to bring in more business.
But you'd be surprised once it's always interesting when you do the scale thing like that. But once you can delegate some of those tasks that are taking up so much of your time, you can be more productive and make more money
and other stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've noticed even on Mondays already, it's a huge help just having you can get it done in half the time. You know? With the extra help. So.
Yeah, and finding people too that you can rely on and trust. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
We had we were doing some dealership work whenever we started in 20, and had some people working for us, and had calls back about stuff not getting done right. So we're like, we got to go back. I mean, this is our name on this business, so we've got to do our job instead of having somebody else try to go do it for us. But
yeah, that's another thing people run into with stuff like that. It's like if you're running that remote stuff, you can't be there. You can't, and you can't run at capacity. Like if you're trying to do 10 details a day, like, and you're running 2 crews.
I wish we could do 10 a day.
Oh, right, but you gotta have someone to rely on, man.
We do though. There's one place that we go once a month, and it'll be anywhere from like 6 to 10 vehicles every time.
But it's monthly people. We do. Yeah. We luckily, our whole goal with this was to be in a shop doing ceramic coatings and tint.
Okay.
And
so you started out with that goal.
That was my goal to begin with.
Okay.
And we're just, 4 years later, we're just now getting to the point where we go out only twice a month with our trailer, and that's about it.
And as far as details, we're down to just about all monthly. So that's
Yeah. So we don't even hardly detail at the shop anymore unless they're getting a coating job done.
Right. You have to then. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I need mine done, bro. Right now.
Well, we did have a job for today, but we did it yesterday. So
yeah, no, dude, it's this winter time, like when you have a black vehicle and it's like it's raining every 3 days. It's I'm almost like, just what's the point? Let me get through this season and then I'll keep my shit clean again.
And that's the reason we wanted to start doing ceramic coatings, is because, you can't detail in the rain.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So we needed a shop, so we done the one at the house, and then our driveway started getting packed. We'd have 5 or 6 cars there waiting on a job. So we're like, all right, we got to do something. So we got this shop in September or August.
August, I think, yeah.
And rain don't stop us now. So
yeah, you just close the door and get after it.
Another business. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and you guys are like the only ones in the area between here and east, right? For a ways.
Yeah.
Like from Bossier back
Yeah,
east?
there's a couple guys in Bossier, but they're not focused straight on ceramic hubs. So
Right.
they do body work, and then they'll put the coatings in there. And
I got you.
so we're focused just on ceramic coatings and paint corrections, and that's it.
And that's another thing people don't understand too is the paint correction thing.
Yeah.
It's like I know that because I've been around it and I pay attention to this shit and I'm a nerd about it. And like I'm the guy that literally flawlessly picks my own shit. I'm like, damn, there's a scratch, and like that one little scratch bothers me so bad. And there's one on my truck, and I'm like, just have to deal with it. I know it's there. Like I'm not gonna repaint the whole side of the truck for this little 2-inch scratch. You know,
and a lot of people don't notice them.
Right.
I mean, like us, I can go outside and see.
Oh yeah, we'll see stuff going down the road all the time, and we'll be like, oh yeah, that's been.
But I'm OCD too, so that don't help.
I'm the same way, man, and that's what I like about you guys when you do anything like as far as a project. Like you let me know when I got my vehicle back. He was like, "Look, man, I don't know what's going on here, but this was like this, you know, whatever." And I'm like, "Well, I appreciate it. I don't know either. It's new, you know, but that kind of shit you run into." But like, I mean, for someone who's going to take the time to put more money into something, and some people look at stuff like this and say, well, that's silly, I don't want to spend money on that. But there's other people that they see their vehicle as an investment, especially if you have like a restoration. Like I think we
get a lot of those.
I think that's what have you noticed in the quality of those of older vehicles like 50s 60s models versus today, like as far as like the heaviness of it and the lines and the curvatures and stuff? Like
they which a lot of them are they're freshly painted and stuff,
right.
So they're kind of, I wouldn't say easier to work with, but I don't know. The customers are easier to work with.
Yeah.
Well, because they know, because they're already investing in it.
Yeah.
They're not worried about, okay, I'm going to spend $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever on this thing because I've already spent $50 on it.
Yeah. They're just happy to have it protected. So
yeah. Well, what about you? So, how did you before you met this gentleman? What was your story?
Not really. Haynesville. I lived in Haynesville. There's nothing there.
She was straight out of high school where we met.
Okay.
Nothing there at all.
How old was you? 18, 19?
Yeah. We met when I was 19.
I think I was 24.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
So
time
you scooped him up and pretty much lined him out.
I tried to anyway.
Pretty much. That's about how it happened.
Yeah, no, that's how it happens, man. That's what happened to me. I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, you made me so much better. I was an idiot for a long time. You know what I mean? I was an idiot, and I'll still probably be an idiot if it wasn't for her. I'm extremely particular when it comes to my vehicles, and I only recommend those who are the same way. That's why I always recommend SBC Autos. They take pride in their inventory, from badass four-wheel drives, clean classic cars, and even your everyday grocery getters. They have it all. No hassle, no BS. SBCautos.com.
Yeah, I mean, without her and our daughter, I mean, I would probably be either dead or in jail. I mean, I done some stupid stuff over here in Bossier.
Most
hopping
definitely.
These bars.
Oh, I did it, every night.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Exactly.
I wasn't the example of a church-going guy. I mean, we go to church every Sunday, and
it's funny though because I never asked him to go to church with me. He had texted me one night, and I guess it was a Saturday night, and he was like, "Hey, what time do you go to church?" I was like, "Oh, it starts at 11." Well, that morning, I guess about 10, he was at the house and just started going with me. So. And it's been going since, pretty much.
Yeah.
Trying to go every Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you think that adding in, like, did you not have that growing up?
I did, but once I got in high school, it was just.
See, like, we would go just like this grandparent would go, this grandparent would go, so you go with them. My mom worked all the time, and dad worked all the time, so they weren't going.
Yeah, I was single dad.
Yeah.
Raising us, so we stayed at my grandparents' a lot. And my grandma, she goes to church still every Sunday and Wednesday, I believe. But just once I got old enough I could do on my own and started driving, I wanted to get out there and
move around. Oh, hell yeah,
mine was definitely different because my parents have been married for 30-something years now, and they were youth pastors growing up.
Okay, so it was
every time
like
the door was open,
it was in your your family. Yeah, there's something about like I'm not I believe in God and I believe in but I'm not extremely like religious as far as church going person. It's just more like I see it as like a grand scheme of I think it's in everything. Like I think God is everything, not just one being. Like I see it. The more I look at things, the more I think about these things, and when I run into scenarios, I'm like, I'm trying to do on a daily basis good things every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I notice as I try to do good things, and it's not about me anymore. It's about whatever the grand scheme is or whatever the plan is or the infrastructure around me, that things seem to fall into place.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
And it's not by accident, right?
No, it ain't.
And it's either whether you attribute it to one being, all beings, whatever. Like you put good comes back.
That's just how the world works.
It just is, man. And it's
a
something
lot of people don't believe it.
It sounds so cliche. Because doing bad shit's fun too.
Oh,
it really is. Let's be real.
is.
Like I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of regrets. You know? But without those fun and those doing those bad things and fun and regret, I would have never appreciated what the other side is.
The good stuff. I mean, I think Kevin Gates said to appreciate. What did he say? To great things, you have to go through great pain or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's true. Because if you're that person that say you do grow up in like a perfect household and the staple thing, and you're always everything's just always great. Then the one time that something's bad, like could you fall into a spiral where you never get out of it?
Yeah, I was in a spiral for a while.
Hey, man.
But it was of my own doings. I mean,
what was your vice? Like just drinking and gambling?
Yeah.
Gambling never did it for me, man. I just never. No drugs.
I started. No, I mean I
dabbled.
Yeah.
Everybody's dabbled a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But I mean, I was grown. I wanted to try everything on my own. So.
Well, I mean, I do not like. I don't deter people. Like if everyone ever says like, "Well, do you regret that?" I'm like, look, man. If I hadn't have done that, one, I would have always wondered.
Yeah, I don't regret nothing.
And I think everything builds you up into the person that you are. So you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, like her family, I don't think they've experienced some of the stuff that I have, and they hadn't done some things. No.
Right. You haven't done some of the things they have. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've pretty much lived a straight line life. Mine's been kind of curvy, so I'm kind of the wild one, even around them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess is good.
But you fit in just fine.
Yeah. But trying to do better. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my video I put up the other day. It said, "Sit down, let's talk."
I saw that, man.
About
I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I did. I was scrolling and saw it.
Yeah,
Man, I'm bad about not clicking stuff.
It was just about doing good, and
yeah.
I mean, it was during the snow and stuff. We were supposed to come over here and do the podcast then.
Yeah.
It was just about doing good. I mean, we was off work for, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Yeah, because it snowed and then the next week it rained, so.
But it was just about doing good and stuff coming back. Like I put some money in my little money bag and forgot about it. And I give a certain amount every week to the church, and I didn't know where I was going to get it, so I was going to go to the bank. But then I looked in there and I forgot I had quite a bit of money in there, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So
it is. Yeah, there's something to it, man. I don't think we're ever going to quite understand it. I think everyone has their like. There's thousands of years of writings and depictions of what should be the guide to how you should be a good human being.
Exactly.
Right. And so we're all just trying to figure
the book
that out.
of life.
Right. And it's like at what point like you have to make those decisions, right? Like you can either pay attention to those things or you can choose to do other things. But like there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, I don't know, man. There's no fucking blueprint. Like,
no,
you know what I mean?
not.
It's like you could those things, and you can read some. Like, here's the problem I always run into, and I talked about. And actually, I had who was on Josh? Simple Church. Justin Hagler.
Simple Church.
Justin Hagler.
Was that what? Simple TV Church or Simple Church? Or
Simple Church on TV. Yeah. He's awesome. So Justin Hagler was on here, and he's a guy that's grew up in in bars, music guy. Okay, so he's amazing. We talked about that. It's like people read too much into maybe one verse or even one word, and they try to break it down themselves. And they try to do all these things, and then it somehow
fits them.
Yeah, it always molds somehow to where they can tie it into them and the delivery of whatever makes them feel good of how they're like. You could read this one thing, and you perceive it as this, whereas someone else does that, and there's just so much shit gets tied into that, Oh, there it is. Yes, sir.
You can't let religion keep you from the relationship. And what I mean by that is religion is like the man-made side of trying to get to God.
Right.
So what happens is religion loves control.
It was a way to govern. I mean, it was for the longest time, wasn't it? The Catholic Church.
It loves control. So when it goes for it, is if they can control, then they can manipulate. It's the same way right now, dude. It don't matter what it looks like, whether that's political issues or whether that's church. It's like they're coming back to this control.
Yeah.
So what was tripped out about all that to me, growing up, I just never liked any of that. So what I tried to do is like, in every way and in any way, point to the relationship and get away from the religion.
I mean, that's all religion is.
Yeah.
I go to church. I think, what is it? First Assembly. I don't even know what religion it is, but it's a First Assembly.
Yeah.
How you in there? You're in there all with the.
I started going to church was to bring my daughter,
Right.
just to try to give her that level of, I guess, righteousness, I guess you would say. But, and then ended up I needed it, so I started focusing on it, and I think I got water baptized in
Recently.
May.
Yeah.
I think in May, and it's just been rolling ever since, trying to be good and do good, and it's been a big part of my life. So
No, man, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that anyone that has any type of one. I love a good testimonial that's tied to conviction, right?
Yeah.
But if you're just someone out there saying some stuff because you heard it and you really haven't experienced any, then I'm not going to listen to you. Like, if you haven't had any bad experiences in your life, I really don't want to hear you talk to me. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's like, look, man, and that's all well and good that you have a good ideology and you have strong belief, but you hadn't went through anything yet. We'll see how strong it is once you get through some shit. You know what I mean?
Something too, I think, like, people have different convictions, and I think God expects different things out of different people, because, like, my best is not somebody else's best, you know? So I think it's not the same for everybody. It's all different types of relationships, but it's still a relationship with God. So
yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm all for it, man. I just I'm still trying to. I think we're all still trying to figure this out.
I mean, I tell people all the time, I'm not no Bible thumper, but you can, even babies, they know when something's wrong. I mean, just like us, we know when something's wrong. I mean,
and
unless you just have something.
If there's there's something wrong where, like, you have a perception issue or something, but, like, inherently we know what. Isn't it weird, like, that even from, like, childbirth we're afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
Like, that's something that's tied to us being chased by predators. You know what I mean? It's really interesting to think about those kind of things. Like, why are kids scared of the dark? Like, even if they've never been told any scary stories, they're still scared of the dark. Like,
they don't know what's in it.
No, it's crazy. But even if you know nothing's there, you still have, like, this low key worry about it. You know, I think it's funny that those things are, like, deep instilled into us from, like, a generations of what we went through, I guess, and that just rolls over, I guess, like, genetically.
Yeah. And another thing we were talking about, being good and doing good. I mean, you got to be around good people, because back in the day, I wasn't around.
That's another thing. All right, so that's another thing. Yeah,
I still talk to them.
Right. Well, that's another thing, and it's you have to. Every time I get on these topics, I feel so cliche because I guess because shit that's real and true is almost cliche, right? Because you heard it your whole life and you didn't want to believe it, and then you finally read into it and you're like, okay, well, everyone was right. Like, I'm hanging around the wrong people. I need to spend more time here. I need to slow down and focus on this and focus on.
We don't really hang around. What was it? Michael Beasley on his podcast said he tried so long finding good people, and I mean it's true. I mean,
good people find you if you're doing
exactly.
like if you're. I've noticed that, like, that my life has changed immensely, in the past 5 years of getting married, slowing my roll, hyper focusing on peace and making sure.
I'm big on peace.
Well, so I've been thinking about that lately, and I've been talking about that too. Like, my wife and I were talking about the other day, and I was just like, I'm so unbothered, man. Nothing bothers me anymore. Like, I used to get amped up over the dumbest shit. Like, who's that said something like crazy about me?
Man,
this person talks shit about me. Dude, I would like literally lose sleep over it. And it's an ego thing too. Like,
it is.
When you break that ego thing, it doesn't matter anymore. But for me, it's like, dude, I just like peace. I like to control my schedule. I like to do as much as I can when I can, and then when I don't want to, I'm gonna stop, and then I'll start it back the next day.
Yep. And the smallest things used to would disturb my peace, so I just get rid of it. But like now, I mean, we have about 3 people that we hang around. Yeah. And that's, I mean, and they accept me for. I mean, I was texting my buddy on the way here. I'll probably send him 20 texts back to back. I'm a double texter bad. But I don't know. People will come into your life that are supposed to, whenever the timing's right. Because if I'd have met them, the guys that are the one guy that I hang around now we're both kind of in the truck world, but if I'd have met them 6 years ago, 7 years ago, they'd have been like, get away from me.
You would have ran away. So.
But,
so I mean, timing is everything too. But
it is, and I think it definitely is tied to something, like when you're doing things, you're like. When you're worried about it all the time, like where you focus, like, well, I need to get these people out, or I need to work, or worried about opinions, and I don't know. They say it takes two people to like create drama. So I mean, if you're saying anything about drama at all and tying it to someone else where you're already in it, and you're doing the shit, you know. But this on the same token, it only takes one person to wreak havoc. I mean, it really does, whether it's on yourself or someone else, you know.
And I've done it. I mean, we've all done it. So
yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. It's just it is interesting that like I love getting deep in these topics because everyone has a different perception on a day-to-day, but all the ideologies always seem to come back together, whether it's way far over here or way far over here, you know what I mean? Like whether you're all the good things or you're doing all the bad things, you know? And the people I feel like there's so many people on the dark side of things that wish they could be on the other side, but in the moment they're enjoying it so much that's not a thought. It's a thought. It's an afterthought. It's just like when you drink too much and you're having a great time. Like we're having a great time. All right, let's go to the next place. We're gonna drink. We're going to the next place. We're gonna throw down all night.
Once you get home and you're by yourself and
then
what am I doing?
And shit's weird, or you're depressed, or the next morning you're like, I'm never doing that again. You know, like it's very similar. There's very similar roles in that in anything. I feel like, you know. It's man, I don't know.
For some reason I don't drink anymore. I haven't drinking 4 years. Luckily,
I keep dancing around the thought of. I guess I never really had I don't think I did. I don't never really had a problem. I just enjoyed it too much for the wrong.
I liked it too much. I had like 3 DWIs.
Oh yeah, so no, yeah, I did have one. I got mine out. I got mine out the way at 18 though, bro. So I went ahead and did it early.
The last one I got was whenever we first met, and I think my driver's license was took away for like 6 months. So,
dude, that's the worst thing too. And man, dude, there's so many people killed every day.
Oh, it is
because of a dumbass like us driving, drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've even walked across the Texas Street Bridge, the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
You remember whenever the river was high?
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
When that river was high back in like 13, 14, I think it was, before me and her met. I was drunk. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning in flip-flops walking across the bridge to get to I had a Yukon at the time. It was parked at Horseshoe. I'm like, what am I doing?
Dude,
dumb stuff.
I was driving one night and we'd been out all night. I was tired. I hadn't drank in a couple hours, but definitely had drank earlier that night. And dude, I fell asleep driving and veered off in the median and then came back over. It was right before Minden exit and then jumped off the Minden exit. And luckily I didn't wreck, but like I could have died instantly or killed someone. Like, and those things, like normally I wouldn't even bring that up, but I mean, it is what it is. Like those things happen every day. And what's frustrating is that we didn't have Uber and shit back then. Now there's no excuse. Like, dude, especially if you're in town, even if you live 45 minutes away, you can get someone to drive you home. And paying a $50 Uber fee is a lot cheaper than $5,000 for a DWI and killing somebody. You know what I mean?
Think about being in the moment. So
I know that's what
I can drive, or they'll have some girls in there, and
fine.
and it's a whole ordeal. And look, I get it. I've been there. It's fun. It's a good time in the moment. But like, I think the biggest issue we have is those things aren't talked about enough. You know,
no, they're not.
Because it's like it's the state of culture to where we're all hanging out and having a good time, you know, and alcohol it can be a good and a bad thing, because here's the thing, like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a drink or two and loosening up. And maybe you're an anxious person, but you know, it kind of numbs it a little bit and you can have a conversation. But then once you get past that breaking point and you go the other way.
Red Bull. If you see me with a Red Bull, I'm probably either nervous or we're fixing to go somewhere.
Well, that's why I always keep one now. I feel like it's like I like stimulation. I like stimulation. If I'm not going to drink, then I'll have a little bit of caffeine, and it stimulates me, and it keeps me in another zone to where I'm not I'm not
thinking about that one thing.
I'm the same way.
I used to dip. I quit dipping.
I did too.
I think we caught COVID 2 years ago or something like that. I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is God telling me I need to quit dipping. So
you tied it to dip.
He put something and he just gagged.
Well, I about threw up after we were down for like a month and a half. I tried to go to the shop and I just about threw up and it got real weak. But I just quit dipping then, but I hadn't dipped since.
Man, I dipped for like from the time I was 14 in Copenhagen too. From the time I was 14 till I was like 28. And then or 25, something like that. I don't know. And then I quit just cold turkey. And then here, the past 2 or 3 years, I'll keep a can around, and every now and then, if I'm like driving on a long trip, I'll get one, or like
to wake you up.
Or like, but used to. I do a can a day.
Oh yeah, me too.
If look, and I'd always have these reasons, like, well, I'm driving, I gotta have a dip. Well, I just got done eating, I gotta have a dip. I'm watching TV, I gotta have a dip. I just woke up, I'm gonna get a dip so I can use the bathroom. You had all these reasons why you do it, but really it's just like it was just a bad habit. You're just trying to, But now I'll keep a can around, and every now and then I'll think I want one, or I have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
I have a couple drinks, and then I want a dip.
Oh, I still want a drink.
Yeah.
Even though I hadn't had one in, I don't know, 4 years.
You want one every day?
I still want a drink. I still want a dip.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think the craving will ever go away.
Nah, but I'll have it. I'll have one, and then immediately I'll start feeling like almost high, but then like nauseous feeling. I'm like, well, that means my tolerance is completely gone, and then I'll immediately take it out. I'll put it in for like 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm like, at least I feel like kick this habit,
Mm-hmm.
But man, for the longest time, there wasn't nothing better, bro.
Yeah, I know. I quit that, and I quit the drinking, and tried to start doing a little more healthy stuff. That's why I've got some meal preps, and I've been eating.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
That's all I eat.
Y'all like them?
Yeah. Shout out to Pork and Fork.
Literally right before I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh, I'm going to lose a few pounds. But I'm like, I'm still going to do these meal preps.
Well, yeah, you still eat healthy. And that's a great thing about
That's all I eat. I eat that one at lunch, and that's it.
That's all you have all day long?
Yeah, that's all. Let's see, Monday or Sunday evening I weighed.
But you're doing like a fast thing too, huh?
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, yeah.
And you're doing like a shutdown from social media too. So
Yeah.
how did this happen?
I don't know. My screen time on my phone.
Oh, dude, that will
about 6 to 8 hours a day.
Bro, that will shake you up.
Yeah.
When you see it on Sunday, when you see that reveal on Sunday, you're like,
never checked hers. I tell her.
Wait, somebody's got to run the business. You can't both look at that shit.
So I quit. I deleted my Facebook for now. But yeah, the 1 meal a day thing. I'm trying to lose a little bit of pounds.
Right.
So I was like 209 Monday, and I checked this morning. I was 199. Like, dang, that's all right. That's a lot of water weight, I guess. But and them little meals are good. So
they are good.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I got one at the shop. So the next 4 days, I'm not going to eat anything.
Okay.
And then I'll start back my 4 for next week.
So you're just doing I guess like an intermittent fasting almost.
Yeah, just to kind of cut real quick and then start trying to be healthy.
Yeah. I'm a proponent of like, I've done all the things and tried all the preps and done all the shit and but I've been doing it so long like that I'd get burnt out on. That's why when we started doing the prep thing, I wanted it to be like gourmet stuff that still tastes good. It's also fresh ingredients.
Not just salads.
It's not boring shit like chicken breast and broccoli.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know what was with the salmon, that rice.
Oh, it was amazing. So that was it's like almost a Spanish rice, but it's handmade. So you're hand cutting the peppers, putting all the spices in there, preparing the. So
it was good.
Yeah.
I never even had salmon.
Really? Yeah. You had it with the poblano. You had it with the poblano cream sauce. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's delicious.
I just heated it up. and ate it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it was cool.
I told her, I said, whenever we seen y'all's post, I said, just get 2 a day.
Yeah.
I mean,
At least
I don't care what it is. Just get me something. I'll eat it.
yeah, that was seared salmon. It's really good. But I think with the diet stuff, everyone says it's a diet. Like, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that. For me, I've realized like, and everyone like processes things different because all of our bodies are built different.
Yeah.
So like you may hold weight from sugar, whereas you may hold weight from just purely like complex carbohydrates, or I may hold weight from too much fats.
Yeah.
So like I've noticed in how my energy levels and my recovery, because I would wear the Whoop strap I wore it for like almost 3 years. And I would encourage you, the Apple Watches are cool, but if you ever want you start really getting into fitness, get you a Garmin or a Whoop strap, and it'll monitor your heart rate variability and your recovery time. And even though you're maybe not doing crazy workouts, it recovers your sleep cycles. And so you'll wake up the next morning, it'll say, well, look, you didn't get enough sleep here. You didn't do enough.
I don't sleep. I woke up about 3 this morning. That's
a lot of that has to do with, it could be diet, stress, whatever, not enough water.
And without the social media, I did see. Usually, I'm in bed by about 8 every night, and I'll wake up. But
that's like when I start working in my second job. Like,
no, I gotta be in bed about 8.
I understand.
And then I'll get up at 3 or 4, or I'll wake up at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, well, I'm wide awake, so I just get on my phone and get on Facebook, start scrolling.
You sucked in for an hour.
It's a couple hours going through reels, watching videos.
Yeah.
So I mean,
being on the marketing side, I've been good about the past, I don't know, probably the past 3 or 4 years. It's like we create and put out so much that I almost I'm never really scrolling.
Yeah.
I'll go in to check pages, and that's where I see people that I'm connected to, like you or whoever, like, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I won't get into a death scroll because 1, I know I don't have time, and 2, I know that shit's addicting because everyone has an issue with it.
Yeah.
So the bulk of my time is spent pushing content out or looking at how this performed, or looking for ideas.
Yeah.
Which
that's where a lot of my ideas come from too, is from watching videos.
And that's not a bad thing. Like if you're consuming something for creative, but if you're just consuming something because you're bored, I think that's that's the biggest issue I see in so many people is like
do something better with your time.
Yeah, if you're just sitting there aimlessly scrolling with absolutely no strategy, nothing. I'm just filling my time, and then you're liking, or you're that person that comments and has something to say about everything.
Oh yeah, I don't ever comment on nobody's stuff. That's what gets me. I'm not the type. I don't get in arguments. Just steer clear of me if you're going to argue. But I don't comment on people's stuff for that reason. So, you're like people I know personally, but
right. But like you're not just talking shit on somebody's post because you don't agree with them.
So sometimes people will comment on mine, and I do put some argumentative stuff on there every once in a while, just because I know it's gonna. You got to have stuff that's gonna bring in comments, because people say comments and stuff don't pay, but they do. I mean, whenever your Facebook's on that professional mode, I mean, we make a couple $100 a month just from people commenting or sharing or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I think too that's another interesting thing is like it could go one way or the other. It's interesting because you built your entire business on
pretty much
on
Facebook.
referrals and social media, and that's what social media is a social network. It's just repeat business and referrals, but then you still know that you need to step away from it for a second, take a cleanse, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it was just getting too much.
I think it's funny because I'll see y'all talking to each other on there. Y'all talk shit to each other. I was like, I know they're together because they're always together.
I'll be on the couch and I'm like, really?
Yeah, that's why whenever we had talked about coming up here, I was like, well, I mean, Faith's gonna have to come because we're either she's with me or my daughter with me.
Yeah,
we're all. I'm never by myself unless I'm out in the shop. And that's what plays a part in working on these trucks and cars and stuff. Is whenever I'm in the shop, that's kind of my alone time. It's like, leave me alone. I'm out here. So if you need something, just walk outside. So, but yeah. They're always with me, which I mean that's how I wanted it. Whenever I was in the oil field, I was working 16 hours a day, and which they were out there. We were living in a camper out there, but
then just sleeping.
Still not the same.
No,
I did that for 10 years of my life. It's not.
There's no quality time.
No, and then when you're off, it's like full speed. Let's blow this money, and drink or whatever.
Which I wasn't bad at. I mean, luckily, whenever I met her, I was decent about saving money. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. Hey, look, I think it's awesome. I think, one, congratulations for your new business. Another congratulations for the new addition to the family. That's awesome. Yeah. Like, and just what you guys are doing, as far as like, I feel like y'all have some type of community. Like you have some type of following.
We have a big following.
Yeah. And people like that, like there's some people that they're not creators, they're consumers, and they need creators, and those things that's what you guys do, and I think that's why I see like similar traits in what we do and what y'all guys are doing, and like people like that, like they're putting stuff out there constantly and trying to either help someone.
And you have to stay on the trends. I mean,
if we're talking,
you got to stay on the trends.
Yeah.
Like the what was the last one? The Gypsy Rose deal.
Oh yeah, well, I see y'all do that shit. I get it.
Everybody was like, "Oh, that's Photoshop." We're like, "Well, yeah, it's supposed to."
Yeah, I see y'all. That's another thing. That's funny. Yeah, for marketing, for what you do.
I stay on a lot of, and we do all of our own marketing. And now that y'all built a website for us, I mean, it's brought in a lot more business too. So we didn't. I didn't ever want to spend money at first.
Right.
Like even on Facebook, sending ads. I'm like, if it's supposed to be workforce, it's going to come to us, but. Yeah, you will, but you're going to level out.
Yeah, you still got to figure that out.
You don't have to spend a crazy amount, just enough that it works.
In order to grow, you've got to keep putting money in.
Yeah, you have to reinvest. When it comes to like business and me working with other businesses, I always I look at them and I'm like, look, what's your annual net salary, like gross? What's your gross salary, like for the year? Like, what does the business make? 10% of that needs to go back into marketing. That's a very hard. That's a very hard pill for most people to swallow. So if you made $100,000, you better spend $10,000 on your marketing. Yeah, and if you didn't, you probably could have made more than what you made. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Another thing is people spend money in the wrong places. Or they do stuff like they think they need.
You gotta have a lot of self-control. I mean, like I'm bad about buying stuff. Like, we got a package at the house every day.
It's work stuff though.
A lot of it is work stuff because I like the stuff we do. So I'm always buying new stuff. Well,
you're investing in your business. I mean, there comes a point like, okay, is this investing or is it just I want the new toy? But I mean, I think if you're putting all your time and energy into something. And your whole family depends on it, then of course reinvest in it. You know what I mean? Definitely. Now, if it's just a hobby, I mean, we're talking about something different,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's your life. So
yeah, I mean, this is our only plan we've got. I don't know what we do. We've tried doing we had a coffee trailer, we sold it. We had a cook trailer, we quit doing it. So I don't know how y'all do the cooking. I mean,
Man, that's
I definitely
right
don't.
there.
I definitely don't do it full time, and I definitely pick and choose what I do.
Yeah.
Like, hats off to the people that do that full time, because I'm not doing that full time. I enjoy doing it when the right call comes in, and I'll say yes or no.
yeah. I mean, we did we had a food trailer doing burgers and stuff like that. And
But that wasn't every day, or at least
you gotta
Monday
be
through
there.
Saturday.
Yeah, you
You
gotta be
have
married
to live
to it.
there.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. It really is.
So we went back to the detail and stuff. We knew what we could do. So
Yeah, well, that's another thing too, with running your own business. You get to close the door if you want to go to Vegas
exactly.
for the weekend.
yeah,
Exactly.
You get a trip, and you're still reinvesting in yourself because you're going out there. Yeah, I mean,
which we probably won't go back. I don't know. I was kind of sick before we go on a trip. Sometimes, I guess I get anxious or something, and I start getting sick. But we were sick, or I was sick the whole time we was out there, so I didn't really get to enjoy the Vegas deal, you know.
yeah.
And I mean, it was cool. We flew out there. I don't know if I go back.
Well, we really went mainly to meet our System X, which is our ceramic company. They
Yeah.
were there. The guy that works with us, he was there, so we just wanted to meet him.
Are you so it's what's the other one? The other one I had, the other brand,
Ceramic Pro.
Ceramic Pro. So I had Ceramic Pro on the other vehicle, and then System X. So those are like the two big
Yeah, those are the biggest ones.
players.
Yeah.
And so are you guys? I mean, I feel like you got to be kind of high up on their vendor list, right? You do a lot of work for them.
Oh no,
Is there a lot? Oh, really? Well, I mean, still though, I mean, if you're going there and showing up, I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know,
but like, so if you go in there on their website and you type in your address, there's 3 people
in this area,
in North
which they
Louisiana.
restrict it, right? You can only have so many.
Yeah, you can only have
Yes.
so many within a
Within
certain.
7
Yeah.
miles.
So within, I don't know, probably a 100-mile radius, there's about 2 or 3 of us. So.
Okay,
But the other ones, they don't have a shop like we do,
right.
and you can't store your vehicle there if you need to. But I don't know. They still do good work, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like product placement, and then finding the right people to do it. You know,
Yeah, I mean-
a lot of that stuff doesn't stick. Somebody will become a distributor, dealer for this or
Yeah.
that, and then it's just like a year-long little.
yeah, a
tear,
lot of
and then
people
goes
get in
out.
it and get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
you gotta, and they're not charging enough, so they're in there
They don't
robbing us
push it
pretty
as
much.
I
Yeah.
guess, so.
That's what gets on my nerves. Like, you wouldn't have to do this part time if you charged full price.
Right. I think that's just more of a. People aren't aware, man. They're not.
Yeah.
They don't know what you know. You know,
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
like, well, to them that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, you know, and that's any industry. I've seen it in my industry too. Like, we have a set amount, like, of what we try to look. This is our value in our product, and this is what we offer. You know.
Yeah.
And yes, there's people out there who will do less. You
Yeah.
know, do it for less, but. Do they have the years under their belt? Do they have the expertise? Do they have the knowledge? Or are they willing to show up and
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
physically come talk to
Yeah.
you? Or are you dealing with them on a Zoom call? Or do they even speak English? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those are things that are all like what you go through. And as a business owner or anyone that's working with customers, like, if you're new into any business, unless you, I don't know, some people just jump out there and they're like, oh man, I can do this for that, do for that. And they might go and be in business for a year before they realize, okay, well, my price points are off. I'm not making
Yeah.
any money. You know, what's the problem here?
Yeah, that's the thing with us. We have it set to where we've got to make money. I mean, we got too much overhead to
Right,
not.
right.
So, and we got to eat.
Yeah.
And I like to eat.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're not like just some cheap company. So
Right.
we have a set price and we do hourly rate. So, I mean, that's the only way to make money. And you have insurance and your
That's another thing people don't realize. Like,
Yeah.
you have to realize that, okay, one, I have insurance, which is a whole nother thing. I'm licensed,
Exactly.
experienced, I have certifications. All those things cost money. Product costs money. My time costs money.
That's the main thing.
They just people just see a sticker price and they assume, well, if they're charging X amount and they're doing X amount a
Yeah,
day and they
they're
keep
putting this
posting,
much in their
they keep
pocket.
posting this, well, they must be, damn, they're making good money.
Yeah.
And like,
And they do not
maybe we are, but like, then you don't realize this,
do you want to see
and
my
this.
monthly cost on all this
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
I mean, our rent alone is worth more than most people's full-on bills for the month.
Right.
Just the
But-
rent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, people just don't understand what.
Well, it's just
it's any business.
Yeah, it's just the small business, man, and there's always somebody out there talking about running one and the struggles of it. But I mean, there's one, I would never go back to a corporate
Oh no,
structure. I would never go back to work for
No.
anyone. There's too many things. the great thing about what we're at today in life is like you can pick the device up and you can make money. Even if you want to take pictures of your feet, you can make money. Like so, there's no reason if you want to work for yourself, you can't.
Yeah.
But you got to know going into it that there's a lot of struggles, there's a lot of sacrifices, and yes, you can take off when you want to, but taking off
takes
means
money.
that it's taking away that guaranteed income. So there's pros and cons, but I think the pros far outweigh the cons. Like,
it does. I mean, we don't miss any kind of thing for our daughter. Anywhere she's got to go, we take her. I mean, we don't miss anything. Which, I mean, we're blessed to do that.
Sit in the office if she needs to.
Yeah, I mean, even if she's out of school, she can come to work with us. I mean, we got a room for her. But I mean, people don't realize there's so much you can do, and we try to encourage people to start your own business.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot. I mean, at first.
That's what I think a lot of people have misconceptions as well. I'll start this, I'll start making money. No, it don't work that way.
No, you're fixing to spend some money.
If you want to invest in yourself and do it right, you're gonna spend the first year. You're not making anything, man. You're just not.
I mean, I still feel like we're not making anything.
And
we're 4 years in.
Yeah.
I still feel like we're just starting. I mean, it's just something. I don't know. Until like I put it on there on Facebook the other day. Whenever you see me stop posting on there, then you'll know that we're good.
We got to
you won't stop posting. You'll be good enough for you to hire somebody to post for you.
And that's what we need to do.
Yeah. Well, man, look, I appreciate you guys' time. Thanks for coming on, and I'm excited for you guys. Congratulations again twice. And man, any last plugs or anything you can put out there?
No.
But y'all's meal preps are great.
So thanks.
Yes, they are. People need to get that.
I'm going to leave a review whenever I download Facebook.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate it. Well, thanks so much for your time, guys.
Yeah.